earlier today, one of our colleagues, a gentleman from Florida, presented up on this screen something that appeared to be a screenshot of a text message containing or insinuating an explosive allegation. Screenshot of what appeared to be a text message was a fabricated image. It was a fabricated image. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it was the staff of the committee, but it was not the actual direct screenshot from that phone. We have an obligation to engage in good faith participation to execute and comply with the subpoena.
And one of the first things that the House did after the vote of an impeachment inquiry was to subpoena Hunter Biden to appear. Hunter Biden has evaded that subpoena. So flagrantly did he evade it that he decided to show up at the Senate side to give a press conference, and Eric Swalwell, a member of the House, helped him get that time on the Senate side to give a press conference. That's a flagrant violation of a congressional subpoena.
The only thing that seems manufactured here is the storyline that the Biden family was offering anything beyond Joe Biden's name and political influence. Did you catch Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? She went into full drama mode, insisting that Byron Donalds was presenting fabricated material. She truly believed she had him cornered. She stood there raising her voice about screenshots because addressing the actual bank records would have been a lot harder. This is the standard strategy from the progressive wing. When defending the alleged corruption becomes impossible, shift the focus and attack the whistleblower instead. You've got Bernie Sanders and AOC speaking as if the Biden family were simply private citizens, while significant sums of money allegedly flowed through shell companies like a high-stakes shell game. What we're witnessing is Byron Donalds methodically challenging the arguments made in defense of the Biden family. He isn't just referencing text messages. He's pointing toward financial records that much of the mainstream media has hesitated to examine closely. We're about to watch him turn the tables on AOC's confident performance and argue that the squad is functioning more like a political shield for the establishment than a reform movement. If you're ready to hear more about the claims surrounding Biden influence peddling, hit that like button and let's move to the main footage.
As also the Republican side had mentioned in their many raisings of the January 6th committee, that it's not just Hunter Biden, you, me, any individual subject to equal treatment under the law, to be held up to accountability under the law, but it is also these committees and this committee that is subject to oversight and law. We must comply with the law here as well. Now, I may be one of the very few people that actually believes in Congress, in this country, but I do, and many of us do here. And we have an obligation to engage in good faith participation to execute and comply with the subpoena. The chairman said in front of the country several times to Hunter Biden, you can show up here in front of the world, in front of the public. Hunter Biden took him up on that offer. He said, I will show up in public. I will show up in public. He showed up here today. He showed up here in the past. And Mr. Chairman, I know you do your best with what you've got, but you've got members here that have submitted falsified evidence to the record. You have members here that have submitted and mischaracterized closed-door hearings, and people want to say back and forth at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what party it's happened from. You've got members who've engaged in revenge porn in this committee. So it is understandable why Hunter Biden would want to testify in front of the public for the American people to be able to witness that testimony for themselves. You've got members who've defied subpoenas. You've got members who we are 1 year into the term asking what the rules are at the beginning of the committee. The book was given to us on day one. And so what we should do is allow the man to testify. I believe in the power of the Oversight Committee. Frankly, I believe in it regardless of whether Republicans or Democrats have the chair, because I believe that this committee should have the power of oversight. And we cannot do that on a partisan basis. And so for that, I implore this committee to allow Hunter Biden to testify publicly. I implore and I ask for that to happen. And we cannot do that by getting engaged in this back and forth on a defiance of a subpoena. Let him comply. Let him do it today. Let him do it tomorrow. But let the man do it.
This has been a very interesting hearing. Mr. Waltz, welcome to Oversight. Yes, it usually gets like this. Look, let's be very clear. This isn't about Hunter Biden's white privilege. It's about Hunter Biden's Democrat privilege. Because Donald Trump Jr. showed up for 5 congressional subpoenas. There was never this circus where he was subpoenaed by House Democrats and he showed up on the Senate side or showed up at the White House to answer in some fake, phony, lame press conference, not actually going to the House and doing what he was compelled by a subpoena to do. Hunter Biden did that. And then he has the unmitigated gall to show up here when we know that we're going through actually the legislation for contempt, with, by the way, Mr. Chairman, we should actually get to the legislation of contempt. The speechifying is great, but let's do our business, members. He has the gall to come here, show up, and then when the Democrats are saying, hey, he wants to speak, he leaves. This is a joke. This is a farce. The man has been subpoenaed by Congress. Oh, and by the way, the January 6th committee, Mr. Raskin, which you did sit on, by the way, that was not a normally ordered committee of Congress because Nancy Pelosi did not want the Republican members that then Leader McCarthy put up.
According to the courts, it was.
My time, sir.
Will you yield for a correction?
I was respectful of your time. I didn't say anything. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move forward with our business. He should be held in contempt. There was a subpoena. He did not answer it. Any other American will be held in contempt by Congress. Any other. This is Democrat privilege of the highest order. Let's do our jobs. I yield.
And there it is. Did you notice the shift in AOC's expression once Byron began naming the various shell companies? The focus on fabricated images faded pretty quickly. Now, let's address the veteran voice in this debate, Bernie Sanders. For decades, Bernie has spoken out against millionaires and billionaires. But in this moment, critics argue he has been largely silent. Some say he appears unbothered by allegations that members of the Biden family benefited financially from overseas connections, so long as broader Democratic priorities remain intact. Supporters of Donalds claim that Bernie and AOC are less focused on ethics in this case, and more focused on maintaining political control. They point to controversies surrounding Hunter Biden, including disputes over subpoenas and testimony, arguing that Democrats have treated him differently than they would a conservative figure under investigation. In these exchanges, Byron Donalds leans heavily on logic and documented findings. He references IRS whistleblowers, career officials who raise concerns, and he argues that debates about context do not erase the documented movement of funds. Critics frame it this way: while Bernie Sanders advocates for higher taxes and economic equity, the Biden family is accused of leveraging the Biden name in ways that appear to sidestep ordinary channels. Donalds positions himself as focused on tracing financial transactions and following the money trail. His supporters believe this is precisely why he draws strong opposition, because he challenges the narrative directly. They argue that when AOC adopts a lecturing tone, it serves as a distraction from deeper questions about whether political influence was monetized. In their view, Donalds demonstrated that financial records cannot simply be dismissed through rhetoric. He remained composed, redirected attention to documented transactions, and cast doubt on the defenses offered by progressive lawmakers. What's your take? Is AOC serving as a diversion from broader concerns about Biden-related controversies? And what do you make of Bernie Sanders' relative absence from the billionaire influence peddling debate? Share your thoughts below, and let me know whether you think Byron Donalds' national profile keeps rising.